Well, I want to thank you for joining us for another episode of Marking the Times. This is Dr. Mark Hitchcock. I'm here in my office at Faith Bible Church, and this is the week after Easter. I hope you had a great Easter celebration. Certainly, we weren't able to gather together with God's people, which was really strange for an Easter Sunday, but we were able to gather in our homes and gather together through technology to worship God together. And again, here at Faith Bible Church, it was very different. But we had a wonderful time singing together and praising together, praying and learning again and being reminded of the great truth of the resurrection, the glorious resurrection of Jesus Christ. We want to live in that newness of life, especially in these times in which we find ourselves today. I want to talk about something that's come up quite a bit here lately. I've heard it mentioned by different prophecy teachers. That is kind of how this coronavirus could be kind of a precursor to the mark of the beast. I've heard that language thrown around quite a bit. I'll talk in a few minutes about what the mark of the beast is. But a lot of people are saying that because of coronavirus, obviously the health concerns, that people are going to start being tracked on their phones, so they'll know where people are who were infected, so they can notify other people if they've come in contact with them. And I've heard people say, this is going to be the mark of the beast that's going to come in, obviously, through the avenue of this coronavirus or COVID-19. Let me just mention a couple things in Business Insider. You can get online and look at this. It's talking about how Apple and Google are working together. It says the tech giants are creating a digital contact tracing system powered by a network of smartphones to better help the public understand when they may have been exposed to the virus. The system will enable both iPhones and Android devices to anonymously broadcast signals to other nearby devices using Bluetooth and scans for beacons from other phones in proximity. Through this technology, Apple and Google aim to implement a system that would make it so that your smartphone can notify you if you've recently been in contact with a person who's potentially contagious, while trying to avoid compromising user privacy. And of course, we all know with these companies what they've done with privacy. That's a whole nother issue. But anyway, they claim that they're going to try to keep people's privacy intact through this. But then finally, on down in the article, it says contact tracing is the process of monitoring the people that an infected person may have come into contact with, so that those people can take the appropriate steps should they develop symptoms. This is done manually, but there's a growing interest in utilizing smartphones for this. And they're talking about in the article, it says how Singapore recently launched a contact tracing app. The French government is also working on an app to warn users if they've come into contact with an infected individual. So again, this is just more of the technology out there that's available to kind of control people's lives, let people know when they've been in contact with an infected person. But a lot of people see these as kind of encroachments that are slowly leading to the mark of the beast, where obviously when the Antichrist comes, he's going to be able to control the whole world. He's going to control the world politically, economically, religiously. Now, the biblical entry point to talk about the mark of the beast is Revelation chapter 13, specifically verses 16 to 18. Let me read those verses just so we know what the mark of the beast is. And it says, and he, that's the false prophet, who's kind of the lieutenant for the Antichrist, he causes all the small and the great and the rich and the poor and the free men and the slaves to be given a mark on their right hand or on their forehead. By the way it's there in the Greek, it's upon the right hand of the forehead. So it's upon the right hand, it's upon the forehead. It's not necessarily underneath the skin. People always kind of have this as some device that's placed within the body somewhere. It appears to me like it's going to be visible. And he provides that no one can buy or sell except the one who has the mark. Obviously, this means the Antichrist and his henchman, the false prophet, control the entire world economy. And again, the globalism that we see being exposed by coronavirus really is setting the stage for this. And it says it's either the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for the number is that of a man, and the number is 666. So I know we've talked about this before, but I think when the Antichrist comes on the scene, people are going to be able to calculate the number of his name, and it'll equal 666. This is it's called gematria. Most languages, or many languages, there's a numerical value to the letters of the alphabet. That's certainly true in the Hebrew language and in the Greek language. And so when he comes on the scene, his name is going to be able to be calculated. That means the mark of the beast is the number of the Antichrist's name. And so when people take the mark of the beast, they're literally going to be taking his name on them. And so it's going to be like a pledge of allegiance or a mark of loyalty that you're going to be loyal to the Antichrist. So we know that things like what we see happening today are not the mark of the beast. First of all, because we're not in the tribulation period yet. The Antichrist hasn't come on the scene. So trying to identify any kind of technology today as the mark of the beast is jumping the gun. I don't think the Antichrist will be revealed until after the rapture, and the mark of the beast won't be revealed until after the rapture. Also, when people take the mark of the beast, they're going to be taking it knowingly. No one's going to take the mark of the beast accidentally. They're not going to buy an app and that's going to end up being the mark of the beast and they're doomed. No, it's going to be something that people voluntarily, willingly do. So certainly I would say when the Antichrist comes on the scene, he's going to use all this technology that's available today. He's going to use all of it to implement his system. But nothing today is the mark of the beast because the Antichrist isn't here yet. We're not in the tribulation period. And those who do take the mark will take it willingly and voluntarily. They'll be pledging their allegiance to the Antichrist. And according to Revelation 14, when they do that, they're going to be doomed because of that. So I hope that clarifies some of the hysteria that's out there with some people about coronavirus and tracking people in the mark of the beast. God bless you. We look forward to seeing you next time.